I am just pumping out this TDS update content today. I hope y'all are ready for this because I have an absolutely fire video for you. Someone took the time to watch the TDS Frost Invasion event teaser trailer very closely, and they actually drew out the event map for all of us to see. That person is an amazing member of my community named CHARRKY. Go ahead and give him a round of applause. I'm going to be breaking this down and talking about the zombie routes and possible strategies you might be able to use to beat this event. I'm also going to use screenshots from the event trailer to get clues to figure out which towers we're probably going to want to use here. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. First off, this is an amazing drawing. I'm so grateful CHARRKY took the time to do this for us because it's very accurate. I went back and watched the trailer carefully and can confirm that yes, these are the routes with 4 lanes spawning zombies at the front and then splitting with 2 going to the left and 2 going to the right. At about the middle part of the map, the 2 sets of lanes reconverge for a little bit before splitting once again to go to their respective bases. So let's talk about the strengths and the weaknesses the zombies have with this map layout and how the players can counteract those. The first thing is, obviously 4 lanes of zombies spawning is going to be very tough for the players. Targeting is going to be just a mess. And if some of those enemies are fast, which it seems like they might be, they're going to be able to move out of this area and get to the fork in the road pretty quickly. Now, while they're separated into these 2 lanes, they're going to be their weakest. If you're able to kill the zombies on one side, then the rangers or the high range ground towers like minigunners will be able to shift their focus to the other side. Of course, once the lanes come back together again in the middle, targeting is going to be crazy, and by that point, you don't have long before the zombies split again and head to their respective bases. I highly encourage you to go back and watch this section of the trailer a few more times to familiarize yourself with the enemies you're going to see, because it looks like they're running, but they're not really running as fast as something like a Fallen or a Glitch would run. Okay, so obviously this is all speculation, but I'm going to talk about what I think the players can do to be successful here. First thing to note on this map is the cliff space. Rangers were key for defeating Lord Sinister and beating the Halloween event, but they might not be as important here. Of course, I'm of the opinion that you should always use Rangers, but there does seem to be limited cliff space on this map. There's one at the front and there's one in the middle. In the trailer, there are no Rangers stacked on this middle hill, and I can only count 9 stacked on the front one. That is way less than what we were placing in the Halloween event. Now, I'm assuming that you can place Rangers on this middle hill, but in this video, nobody did. If you can't place Rangers there, then Rangers are not going to play a big part in this strategy just because there's not a lot of room to place them. Now, let's look at the ground space. It really seems to be fractured, doesn't it? Without really having one big area to place towers in. You can see from this image that here on this last island before the lanes split, you should be able to place 2 towers next to one another. But if you're going to use a DJ and commanders here to buff your towers, that's going to take up a lot of room. Here on this other island that separates the 2 sets of lanes, it looks like you can only place towers in a line. This might be a better place to put a DJ and commanders so that they can buff all the ground towers on the sides and even hit that island in the back. And one more thing to say about this, you might be able to place 2 towers side by side in this area, and they just didn't do that in this video. Now I'm going to go back to this image, which is the front of the map, and look at the ground space here. It looks like the best place to put towers in this area is going to be in front of this hill. They have my girl DJ Nico up there along with some minigunners. This will at least help to weaken the zombies so that when they get to the middle of the map, whatever towers you have there can finish them off. And now let's talk about what towers you should have there. Once again, let me remind you that I have not played this map, so this is all speculation, but it is informed speculation based off the map design and the towers I'm seeing in the video. First thing I gotta state is the obvious, they're using pyromancers. Are pyros gonna do extra damage to these ice enemies? I think they will. It makes sense for the whole theme of summer versus winter, and it also makes a typically lame tower useful for once. So I think the enemies are going to take extra damage from the pyro. It's not only set up at the front, but you can see it here in the middle of the map as well. Now, the next tower I want to talk about is the Tonk. Look at all these max level tanks. Obviously, this is more than one person with the mill base. Is the military base going to play a crucial role in this strategy the way that it did in the Halloween strat, or is this all just for the video? I'd actually say that it's just for the video. How often do you get your tanks to max level in a regular game, much less a special event? Especially if this game doesn't run for the full 40 waves, it's just too expensive. Another downside of the tank is the fact that even though it has a gun, it's primarily a collision damage tower, meaning it'll only really be able to damage enemies in its lane, leaving the other 3 lanes untouched. I think our money is going to be better put into high damage ground towers like the Accelerator, the Pursuit, and the Turret. So those are the towers I think are going to be the key to this strategy, specifically turrets and pursuits. The main advantage of the turret is their incredibly high damage and high range, allowing them to cover more of the map. And an advantage of the pursuit is the fact that it can rotate around the map and attack the zombies, whether they're in the split 2-lane area or the combined 4-lane area. Now here's what I think the biggest strategy of this event might be: using towers that do splash damage. One of the abilities that the pursuit has is the fact that it shoots rockets that do splash damage. This means that if it's attacking zombies that are side by side, especially in the 4-lane area of the map, it'll be able to do damage to more than one at a time. You know what other towers can do this? The Mortar and the Rocketeer. It might just be that this event is designed in such a way that players are going to benefit from using towers that they usually leave at home, like the Pyromancer, the Mortar, and the Rocketeer. Now I think the Mortar is going to be best for this because it has a longer range than the Rocketeer, and you can probably stack them on this cliff here. That way they can hit any enemy in this area of the map with splash damage. That would be pretty cool. Alright, now moving on to the last tower I see being used heavily here, the Accelerator. The Accelerator didn't have a place in the Halloween event map, but it sure seems to be necessary here. The only question is, how many players need to have it? I only see a handful around the map, so it doesn't seem like everyone brought it, but you might need its high damage to get the epic victory royale. Of course, you're gonna have to buff it with the DJ to increase its range, but once you do that, it looks like you want to place it anywhere the path turns just to get the most use out of it. Alright, and moving on to the last thing I want to mention here, is this a mega map? Do you guys think this is gonna be a mega event? Are there 8 people playing in this game right here? The two things that make me think this is a mega event is, one, the fact that there are 4 lanes, which means there's gonna be so many more zombies than usual, and 2, all the different towers I see in this game. Just in this one image, I can see the military base, Sledger, Accelerator, Pursuit, Ace Pilot, Toxic Gunner, Minigunner, Ranger, DJ, Commander, Pyromancer, and Turret. That just seems like a lot of different kinds of towers for only 4 people to bring into a game. And I mean, I guess they could just be using these different towers for the video, but I don't know, man. It seems kind of sus. And that brings me to the end of my analysis of this event map. Unfortunately, I can't make a strat for you guys right now because I haven't actually played the event. Can you imagine making a strategy before you even play a map? You'd have to be a god. Oh my god. I'm a god. I gotta go make this strat before I play it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button with your forehead, hit that subscribe button with your big toe, and turn on notifications however you can so you don't miss any of my amazing upcoming content. And while you're at it, go ahead and join my growing Discord community. You can do that at discord.gg/JustHarrisonThings. And I will see you guys in the Frost Invasion event. Peace!